How's it going, everybody? Welcome back, and let's talk about three really important pieces of TypeScript syntax: optional chaining, non-null assertion operator, and the nullish-coalescing operator. Now, I know that's a complete mouthful, but this is definitely going to be worth learning, and it's going to do a ton of heavy lifting without hardly any syntax. All right, so let's take a look at this. We have a type user, and something really important to note is address is optional. We know that because of this question mark, okay? And our examples are really going to revolve around that part of the type, okay? And right here on line 9, we have a simple local variable. The type is user, and it is assigned this object. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into our first example. Here we have a great example of optional chaining, and you see that with the question mark here, right? And if I take that away, it's going to immediately start barking at us, right? So user.address is possibly undefined, and that completely makes sense because this is optional. And if we want to access property street on something that is undefined, that's going to give us an error, and that's going to be a major issue. So by adding the question mark, TypeScript is going to check to see if it exists before it tries to access that property. Okay, so it's not, it's really handling this entire situation for us, which is really awesome. Now, something to really keep in mind here, and this can be really frustrating when using this the first time, is that we can only use this to access values. We cannot assign with this question mark, okay? And if you're wondering what I mean by that, what I mean is we cannot use this question mark here left of an assignment, right? On the left side of an assignment or the left side of an equal sign. So let's go ahead and hop into that scenario. Okay, so we have address. I'm just going to go ahead and add that question mark, and then street. All good so far, but the moment I add an equal sign, right, this is an assignment, we're gonna, have some issues here. And that's because we cannot have this as an assignment. It is only to retrieve a value. Okay, so that's something to really keep in mind. Okay, so let me go ahead and comment this out, and let's take a look at the next item, the next example. And here we are. This is a great example of the non-null assertion operator, which is just an exclamation mark, okay? And that exclamation mark is telling TypeScript, hey, this is not going to be null or undefined. Trust me. We're using this when we want to tell TypeScript, hey, we know a little more than you do. So if I go ahead and take this away, it's going to say, hey, come on. User.address is possibly undefined. So by adding that exclamation mark, we're telling TypeScript, hey, trust me, this is not going to be null or undefined. Now, obviously, this can be dangerous, but it can also be useful. And at minimum, you will now know what this means because you're going to see this out in the wild. All right. So let's take a look at our last example here. And this is the nullish-coalescing operator. And this is super cool. A lot of people use it, and it's going to be great for you to implement. And so what we're doing here, right, we already know what this is. We went through this example already. But whenever we have the double question mark, what that means is, hey, if this is defined, right, if it's not null and it's not undefined, just go ahead and use this value, right? And as you see, we're assigning a local variable street to this value. But if it is null or it is undefined, use this. So this is kind of like a cousin of a ternary, which is pretty cool, but we're just focusing if this value is null or undefined. So hopefully that helped. We covered 3 really important pieces of TypeScript syntax. If it did help, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.